I'm Diego, and today we'll be unboxing and give a first impression on the Sony Xperia 10 Mark II in mint color. Now we're going to unbox the Xperia 10 Mark II. It arrived from Expansis PH, which is, I can attest to, it's very legit. And medyo mahirap siyang buksan, no? Sige lang, push. Ayun, yun naman pala. Okay, so this is the unit itself. So as you can see, it's very narrow. It's tall actually, and it's mint. So again, it has the 21:9 aspect ratio or 6 inches screen, which is kind of rare these days. You get a manual. I think it's a manual. So what could it be? It's a manual, alright? So, yeah. Anyway, who reads manuals these days? If you have YouTube, right? So, okay, startup guide. Okay, and then you've got, I think this is a European charger, because my BlackBerry also has this type of charger, but Expansis provided me an adapter, so I think it's good. It's all good for Asian countries. So thank you, Expansis, for being considerate and empathetic to us. And you got, yeah, so we got a 3.5mm headphone from Sony, so thank you, Sony. And yeah, we love a 3.5mm jack. Thank you. Okay, and as you can see, I'm very OC with putting things back. And of course, we get this Type-C charger, USB data cable. Texture of this cable is actually very rubbery. And the best part, sarap, no? Okay, so that's the Gorilla Glass screen and the Gorilla Glass back. So they're both Corning Gorilla Glass 6. So let's remove this little sticker too. Okay. Spoiler alert, I'm not really a gamer, and that's why I won't be playing any Mobile Legends or PUBG with this phone. That's why I can't really comment anything about it. I'm just a typical everyday user. The phone. At the bottom, you'll see a microphone and the USB Type-C port. On its right, there is a standard volume rocker and a silver fingerprint scanner that is also a power button. At the top, there is a microphone and the 3.5mm headphone jack. Lastly, on its left is the SIM and memory card tray, which you can access without a pin. The screen is a 6-inch OLED display, which I love in indoors, with a 21:9 aspect ratio, perfect for movies. However, when used outdoors in bright sunlight, the screen is hard to see even in full brightness. O sige, pag yan nalaglag o ano, takot siya eh. The phone runs in Android 10 with a slightly modified user interface. It has an octa-core Snapdragon 665, 4GB of RAM, and 128GB of internal storage, which I think is already adequate for everyday use. The system navigation controls can be customized. You have an option to use gesture navigations or the traditional 3-button navigation. Personally,
I prefer the 3-button navigation because it brings me back to my old phones. There is also a side sense feature where you can switch from app to app easily. The multi-window feature is also handy in using two applications simultaneously. For this example, I'm using Google while I watch on YouTube. The phone's single speaker is at the front bottom chin and the sound quality is just average. Viewing videos are great in this phone, although sometimes colors tend to be oversaturated, but you can always adjust its settings. Speaking of settings, you can adjust the display quality and its white balance from warm, medium, cool, and custom. There's also light and dark mode on the display settings. Another feature is one-hand mode, where you can simply double tap the home button. It's very customizable, depending on your preference.
And one thing that's disappointing me with this phone is actually it doesn't have double tap to wake or double tap to sleep. Since this phone doesn't have a double tap to wake or double tap to sleep feature, I installed the button here for sleep. And it didn't work, bitch. I can't fucking see. There you go.
How about the camera? The main lens is a 12 megapixel wide camera. There is also an 8 megapixel telephoto and another 8 megapixel fixed focus ultra wide lens. Here are some sample shots I took. The main lens produces some average shots, while the ultra wide works well with adequate lighting. And the 2x zoom is okay, that's fine. Here is another sample photo using the different lenses. There is also a portrait mode, which kind of struggles in focusing. The 8 megapixel selfie shooter comes with soft skin mode in default, but you can change its settings as well. Well, be careful in over modifying your selfie shots or else it'll look like this. Low light selfies come out as a bit noisy. For video recording, the Xperia 10 Mark II can record up to 4K. The slow motion feature also serves its purpose. And while watching this, I think I have a new purpose in life. Get them coins, honey, get them coins.
I'm sour candy, so sweet that I get a little angry, yeah. Sour candy, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm super psycho, make you crazy when I turn the lights low. For the rainfall, Alis na showed up, he showed me nothing at all. Dun, 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 dun.
There was a little problem with the microphone. However, I saw a solution in Google where you should turn off your Google Assistant to improve the quality. The Sony Xperia 10 Mark II is IP68 water and dust resistant. Lastly, this phone has 3600 mAh battery and supports fast charging. Charging time is kind of slow, the unit's charger. On the bright side, the battery life can last a whole day without charging.
If you would ask, why would I buy a Sony phone in 2020? Well, it's simple. If you want a phone with narrow screen and fits perfectly in one hand, then this phone is for you. And also, if you don't like those unnecessary notches and punch holes in your screens, then this phone is definitely for you. Okay? Okay ba? Intindihan? Okay. Thank you for watching, and you can just not leave me a subscribe because I'm not really a vlogger, and I just want to share my experience with this phone. Okay? Have a good day.